Hello everyone, welcome back to Survival Minecraft. I am starting a brand new world in a seed that I found on Chunk Base. I found this really cool mountain seed which I showed earlier, and I wanted to do a survival let's play within it. I took a break from my previous world because I was busy with university, but now that I am finished, I had a lot more time to record, so I decided that I wanted to give it a go. We do have a pillager outpost right behind this mountain at spawn, but that's okay because it's quite far away from where I will be making a starter base. It also has allays which will be useful for an XP farm. I'm just going to lower my chunks because I want to avoid lag, and of course the first thing that we have to do is punch a tree. I do apologize if this is laggy because I am recording this on my laptop, so it might be a bit slow. But yeah, let me know what you think of the future updates. Do you think they're any good? Are you using the new spear? And of course, I'm now going to make our wooden tools and then make some stone tools. So I went over here to this side of the mountain and made a wooden pickaxe, and then I mined some cobblestone to make a cobble pickaxe, to make a stone pickaxe. And I got some extra cobblestone to make some more stone tools. Along the way to the place where I will make a starter base, I found some iron ore in the side of the mountain, so I mined that up so that I can make a bucket because that is very useful for navigating powdered snow. I kept my eyes peeled for more iron because I wanted to make a full suit of iron armor. And I checked the nearby caves just in case they had some, and they did. I found a lot of iron in the mountain, and I also found some coal, which would be useful for torches and smelting. I accidentally fell in some powdered snow because I didn't have a pair of leather boots, but it was quite easy to get out of. Then I made a bucket, and I used that bucket to collect this water source so that I could get rid of powdered snow in the future and safely make my way down the mountain. At night time, I mined a hole in the wall and I decided to make a suit of iron armor with what iron I was able to get. Those flames are simply to act as a light source. Now that it was the next day, I had my bucket of water in hand, and because I did not have enough wood to make a boat, I used the water to go down the mountain without taking any fall damage. And I ate some rotten flesh because I did not have enough food at the time. Now that I was down the mountain, I decided to collect some animals and trap them in boats so that I could use them for the future in case I wanted to make a barn. I also investigated the local village that I had found, which I will be using the villagers to make an iron farm and villager trading hall and villager breeder. I stored all of my stuff in there, and I realized that I forgot to mention that afterwards I did make a pair of leather boots because I would need to go find some spruce trees, and I would also need to find some potions. I then explored the village and was looking for all of the beds because I like to trap villagers by breaking the beds and then just ringing the bell and they all run into a hole. That way it's much easier to make an iron farm and villager trading hall. Now I dug a hole to put the villagers in as a temporary safety precaution so that they did not get unalived by zombies. I placed down some beds because that signals that it is a village for them to go hide in, and I rung the bell, and just like that, most of them were able to go into the hole, and I just simply pushed the rest inside. Then I simply made a barrier, a safety barrier around them to stop any mobs from getting in. Now that they were taken care of, I decided to collect the rest of the wheat so that I could make bread, because I would have to go on an exploration journey. I wanted to find some spruce trees, and so I decided to punch this iron golem from the safety of these wheat blocks. Because I wanted to use spruce wood for my builds, and I also wanted to explore some igloos, because I saw that on Chunk Base there were quite a few igloos nearby this village, and that is a very good thing because igloos have splash potions of weakness, or rather they do if they have a basement attached to them. Not all have a basement attached like the one next to this village, which was a shame, but eventually after this exploration mission I was able to find 3 splash potions of weakness as well as a couple golden apples, and I could get more gold from the nether. So, now that I was geared up, off I set to go and explore. I entered this snowy biome, the snowy tundra biome that I saw on the seed map, and it was a good area to collect some sugarcane as well as spruce. And the mountain also had some exposed iron. I did cook up some food, and I used some of the iron to make an iron pickaxe, in case I found a ruined portal, because then I can mine the gold blocks. Here we go, I found my very first igloo of the trip, and my inventory was already jam full. Thankfully, this one did have a basement, which contains a regular villager and a zombie villager. So it's a great way to kickstart your trading hall in case you don't have a village. So here I was trying to decide what to get rid of, because I wanted those apples, and especially the golden apple, because that's what you need to cure zombie villagers. However, I would not be curing this villager in the basement because I prefer to cure my villagers closer to home. Interestingly, it's also a good place to find cactus, which is ironic because it's at the bottom of an igloo. But it's quite useful in case you don't have a desert nearby and you want to make a cactus farm. Along the way, a wandering trader spawned, which was kind of odd because I was far from a village, but it was actually pretty useful because I wanted the lead ropes for moving mobs and villagers in boats, so that was the main thing I was happy about. Now that I was back home at the village, I decided that I wanted to make a starter base, because most of the time I don't build one until quite late on, and so I just wanted to get it over with and out of the way. This wasn't the original place that I wanted to build my starter base. I wanted to build it at the mountain that I showed in the beginning. However, I think I will definitely be building another base there, or build there, when I have much better tools. But now I decided to prepare the terrain for my house. This is a quick and easy way to break grass, if you don't know. I wanted to use spruce wood for the outline of my house, because it has a very nice rustic appearance. However, the terrain was not even, so I would have to do some terraforming. I added simple spruce pillars and beams, and I used this water bucket to break my fall. Typically, I would always just take a lot of fall damage every time I would build a structure, but lately I've been using beds and water buckets to avoid fall damage. Then I made a chest and I unloaded all of my items. I did get a lot of sugarcane as well, which was very useful, because then I can plant it and grow a massive sugarcane field. I then wanted to use oak wood for the walls, so I gathered some from the trees and the village. I will of course be fully destroying the village and building other structures to house the villagers. I then decided to use some stairs for the windows to add some depth and detail, and the reason why this is primarily wood is because I wanted it to have a kind of rustic log cabin vibes. And so then I decided to gather up some sand to make glass, and luckily I did not have to go very far to find an ocean. I made an oak door, and then I wanted to use deep slate for the roof, as well as cobblestone. So eventually I mined my way down to deep slate and I heard tons of zombies. And lo and behold, there was a zombie spawner. I did not know this, even though you can find dungeons from chunk base. So this was a pleasant surprise. The loot was not too great, but the main thing, of course, is having a source of experience points, and we could even trade the rotten flesh to clerics. So that's kind of cool. And there was also some golden horse armor as well. In case you didn't know, golden horse armor is not craftable, so it is actually a unique item which can only be found from loot. I continued mining deep slate, but unfortunately I did not find any diamonds, which I was also hoping to get. Now that I was back on the surface, I crafted up some deep slate tile stairs because they make a really nice roof block. And also, one other thing I should mention is that I turned off fire spread in this world because I did not want my house to burn down. So now I went and replaced all of the regular glass windows with white stained glass that I made with bones from the loot chest. I added some trapdoors for some extra detail and reinforcement, and then I also added some upside down stairs to look like supports for the roof. Once that was done, I pillared up to have a look at it, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. But then I decided that I wanted to work on the retaining wall, because at first I was not going to make one, but then I decided that it would probably be a good idea, and it did end up looking quite good. So I added some cobblestone pillars to the deep slate retaining wall, as well as some arches, and I also built a mine out of deep slate. So it's quite simple and very basic, but it does look pretty good in my opinion. I decided to zoom in to show you some extra detail. I made a path and a staircase, and I do have an attic, so there's more storage room if necessary. I also added a very simple chimney at the top, and a little covering for the mine entrance, just to make it a bit more interesting. Now that was over with, I decided to take down the village because I wanted to build some other structures, and this village has just got to go. Well, now you can see that the village is completely dismantled, and all that we have left is a couple of farms, the villagers, and so now I will just get rid of these farms and replant them next to my starter house. Next, I started working on the barn. I used my bed to help prevent fall damage, which is quite useful when you don't have feather falling. I made the roof with a simple curved design using a trim of tough stairs, and then the rest would be with leftover oak wood from the village. Now that the pillars and the roof was in place, I made these arches, which I then connected with mossy cobblestone walls, and I also used some oak fences. Now that the barn was done, I built a simple oak pen using some gates to keep in the animals. Here you could see the barn from the outside, and it's looking pretty good, though I did decide to add some windows with trapdoors at the front. Finally, it was time to lead some cows into the barn, and I would also gather some sheep, but these leads do have a habit of breaking, so you should be careful. The last thing I did was plant a few crop fields, and I also made a well so that I had an infinite water source, because I also wanted to plant a sugarcane field, and I also linked up the pathways. I also linked up all of the structures to pathways. Well, welcome back. We now have my finished starter base. I've done all of the main builds that I wanted to accomplish so far. Over there we have our barn and our starter house. And as you can see, I've expanded the field so that we have sugarcane and carrots, potatoes, and wheat. Over there I might make a windmill and more crop fields, and over here I will build a stable for the horses, as well as other enclosures for animals. And here we have our start building a stable and maybe even a windmill and some more crop fields. I might also explore the nether and start gearing up with villagers, but let me know if you have anything that you want me to build, and I have lots of other plans for this world. Stay tuned, thanks for watching, bye bye.